That's what that is.
No, it does.
But I'm going to bring that up later, actually. That's another thing.
Right. It is probably one of the most, streamlined multiplayer experiences out there, and for people to, get the idea that all it is, I'm sure that people out there who bought Battlefield Bad Company 2, had been disenfranchised with, some of the, unfair problems that they faced in Modern Warfare 2. However, but Modern Warfare 2 is not just a game that's full of glitches. It's probably one of the best multiplayer shooters out there in terms of, design and
I think we can
stability.
easily agree that both these games are very good.
Yeah,
I completely agree.
They're very good games at a very high level.
That's why it makes it hard to debate this, because they're both great.
I'm not saying like that it's worse than Darkest of Days. I mean, that game was.
Ugh.
Yeah,
I remember that. I remember watching that.
I don't even think that game deserves its name being mentioned.
So, but yeah, I'm not saying it's like that, or it's a really good game. But compared to all the hype that it had, like they didn't even have a beta, and they thought that like they didn't need one because like they did enough internal testing. Obviously
not.
Yeah, obviously not.
And clearly something went wrong there.
And like going back to the story, like I said in my review, I didn't think that the story was a bad thing. I just thought that they jumped around too much. Like I played the original countless of times, and yes, they did a lot of jumping around, but they did it like organized. Like in this one, it just felt like it was. Like, they just threw in a storyline just so they could push out the multiplayer.
Yeah, example
my
being,
god.
Like, my first impression was, I played, like, the first thing I did in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 was no Russian, okay? So, I show up probably about midway through the game. Not a great idea, but, okay, whatever. All of a sudden, I hear about this strange
Nice.
CIA guy who's going there with the Russians. Okay, so maybe there's gonna get some play, but at the end of the level, he dies, and that's the last of it. So, what was the point of this whole segment here?
I'll tell you what the point of that level was. I'll give you a break, Chief. I'll give you a break. That level, and this, I guess we can talk about the controversy of this level.
I know it was optional, which is why they had to do that, but still, that happens multiple times.
This is, and they did it in Modern Warfare 1, where they had the guy in the car and you just rode through the town and you got killed at the end. This is something that has been, I don't want to say a staple to Call of Duty, but it's been in the games. So, the point of that level was purely to piss you off. And what people get upset about is you killed innocent civilians, obviously.
Yes, but that's not what pissed me off.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to get to it. Don't worry. So I just want to take it from the beginning. So you're standing right next to the bad guy. So he's right there, and you have to work with him. You're trying to play him, and whatever. You're going through the whole level. You open fire on the civilians, and then you
open fire.
Okay. You go through, and it's supposed to be hard. First time I played that, I was horrified at what I was seeing on a TV screen. But you know what? At the end, I was sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, this is so bad. And I was like, this is terrible. I'm like, I can't believe I'm playing this. This is awful. I mean, it was like a 9/11 experience, and it was in a video game. And by the time I got to the end of the level, and I got killed, and I said, wow, I just killed about 100 innocent civilians for nothing. And it really pulled me into the story to the point where I was pissed off. I was like, wow, I just got played by this game to go kill a bunch of innocent civilians, to get shot down in the end and be a failed mission, die as a murderer, and rather not as a hero. And that is like a real stab in the face for, like, someone in the army, or that character, was he United States?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, especially United States. So, during my hands-on, and the big part of that level that was the big deal, and I think that level actually is probably one of the most emotional and the biggest impact I've ever had with a video game. It's, and I look at a story like Battlefield Bad Company 2, you get zero of that. I cannot, there's nothing, and although it's the more realistic, more army experience, when I think about the emotions I felt while playing No Russian, I think about the adrenaline rush that I had with Call of Duty. It just seems so much greater than what Battlefield offers to me in the form of what it does. Now, what it does well, but if I'm talking about single-player campaign, I would hands down give it to Call of Duty because of what I felt and what I saw and what it was.
Yes, but this is my feeling, though. You're telling me the biggest emotional part of this whole game is optional. No, wait, so let's say you were someone who didn't want to do that.
But my point is it happens all over. Okay, it also happens like the last level with the part with the knife. Not necessarily realistic.
I hate the ending.
Not necessarily realistic.
I hate the ending.
But not necessarily realistic or whatever.
Not the
but
realism.
It was crazy. It was like you got the bow in the Mac 10s or whatever you're shooting.
The that I have no problem with. It's just the fact that it's drawn out too long. It's not that it's ridiculous.
I think it
it's
was
just,
very emotional.
I thought it was incredibly well done.
The storyline is very good, but like I've played every single Call of Duty game, including Treyarch's, but I'm not gonna count those since it's not made by Infinity Ward, and it just felt like it was dragging. It didn't feel like I had the emotions in the beginning, but like then it got like okay, I'm with like another different character now. It's starting to get stupid. When you have like 3 different characters you have to follow, and like 2 of them dies off, and then you get another 4 you have to follow. It doesn't become a really dramatic storyline. It just becomes
you lose the emotional attachment because he's like, oh, I love this guy, and he dies. Oh,
because
that
like,
happens again, and then if you become desensitized, then it just passes through.
Because I'm gonna say this. The storyline of Modern Warfare, the shock and awe part, where like if any of you played it, it was the part when the part when the American soldier was killed by the nuclear bomb. That was crazy. I'm gonna be honest with you. I had tears because of that moment because all the soldiers died. Like, that's the only time.
And what separated that event from the events in Modern Warfare 2?
Because it happened too many times. If something good happens, so all right, we're gonna take that. We're gonna throw it in a couple more times. It just gets annoying. It doesn't.
It's stale.
It gets stale. Like I'm not saying like it wasn't emotional, but it gets too stale and it gets like okay, this happened a bunch of times.
I completely disagree. I think what you're describing is sort of like what I think happens with some horror movies, where they introduce you to the characters right away, only to know that they're systematically going to be killed off one by one, and it doesn't even matter what happens to them. This is not the case with the Modern Warfare games. These are characters that you play through and you get attached to, and you know their events and you know their position within the military and what their task is, and then you feel bad for what is happening, but you know that this is so much more than any one person, and this is so much more than any one place, and that's something that Modern Warfare 2 nails better than really any other game out there.
Like you said in a previous episode, you said like how you were like trying, like when you were playing as a character, you were hoping that your character, if you did good enough, your character wouldn't die. Well, I mean, like the game was scripted, like you're gonna die no matter what you do. If you just like games like Heavy Rain, which is like an interactive movie game, but like your actions actually depict what's gonna happen. I'm not
gonna try and disagree. And obviously, Call of Duty is a very narrative experience, but it's linear in its storytelling and also non-linear in its storytelling. It takes a bunch of events and they are linear events that are shown in a non-linear fashion by having all the different events happen all over the globe, and they put you into this event. And when I think Call of Duty, especially the storyline, the one word that comes to mind in every situation I was playing was intense.
That's the same word I was
it was so crazy. Like the pacing is fantastic, and then one moment I'm going down the mountain in a snow a snowcat or whatever, and then another moment I'm forced to gun down innocent civilians. I'm forced to do all those things, to throw the knife at that guy. Like all that stuff happens, and all this stuff is just so intense, and all these explosions, everything like that. Like it's not, and you maybe know that this is the ride that you have to go down, but Infinity Ward presents this amazing story for you. It's not like a band of ruffians that are out there, doing their thing, Battlefield Bad Company 2 style. This is, a very concentrated, very focused story with a lot of intense events to keep the player involved.
I think there's something to be said for linear narrative stories. Everything's been branching out.
They're both linear. Both of them are just going to follow the same storyline.
But it's the way that this one was done is it was like we are going to tell you the story you need to hear, but we're also going to have you have a personal emotion with the game. There's not many games I feel emotionally attached to. I mean, mainly because I play tactical shooters, and it's just like terrorists with weapons, have fun with that. Or, Resident Evil, it's just like, shoot stuff, have fun. When you get to a game like Call of Duty, it's a thick story in there. It's got, that's just great. That's what made the game. I think that's what made it great.
See, Modern Warfare story, they only had one of those amazing moments, and that basically did it for the game.
I completely disagree.
They-
I think there's many.
Many.
They had like 2 or 3, but still, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 has like one every 20 seconds. It's like I didn't. You don't have to do this to make a better story.
It's like when you watch a horror movie. Okay, when you watch a horror movie and you know that